Good morning, Good Quest. Today is Friday, February 1st, 2019.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the national anthem.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Birthdays today are Caleb Tyson, Kayla Tyson, Izia Cedino, and Javian Milton Terry.
Over the weekend, we also have the following birthdays: Brooke Morphew, Brewer Box, Jack Robinette, Xavier McGowan, Liz Hernandez, and Miss Stewart.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Noble.
Nobel who?
Nobel. That's why I'm not.
Today we kick off our SLA Be the Change project, so we just wanted to share an interview of Miss Cynthia and Jonah Baker telling us more about this special project.
Hello Hillcrest. This is Braden Vest
and Cameron Jackson coming at you today. We're doing an interview with Miss Cynthia Baker and Jonah Baker
about the SLA project of turning trash bags into travel bags.
First question. What is your connection with Campaign Project this year?
Well, about 3 years ago, our family became a foster family for the first time. And my husband, Jamie, and I went through the 30-hour course to become licensed as a foster family. And during that course at our local Coffee County DHR, we were required to watch a documentary on foster care. And it was called Removed. And during that documentary, we watched the story of a little girl and her sibling that transitioned from family to family to family. And we were just shocked to see that she carried her personal belongings from home to home to home in a simple black trash bag. We did not know this was the case for most kids. And we came home and we actually showed Jonah and the rest of our children the documentary, which can be found online. And it really stirred in us and it moved us. And we started asking some questions, and we found out that over 75% of children that are transitioning, children in need, whether it's through foster care or the adoption process, that this was their situation, and that most of them didn't have suitcases, and it really just it stirred in our hearts that it was, and we discovered that it was a big problem.
Second question. Why do you think this project is helpful for our community?
Well, I think, like for our family, we did not know that this problem existed until we went through the courses and saw that documentary. Then once we became licensed, we had children that came through our home and still do, and then also transitioned into other homes that brought trash bags with them. And it was a real eye-opener. And I think if other people can be educated about this, they can learn how heartbreaking this really is. Imagine yourselves if you were to go spend the night at a friend's house, or if you were to go maybe over the holidays, visit a grandparent or another relative, if you carried all of your belongings, your clothing, stuffed animals, your video games, even toothbrush or whatnot, in a black trash bag, rather than a nice suitcase or a backpack or a travel bag, even for that child, it would be sad and it would be demeaning to them to not have something a little bit nicer that they could walk through a public place with, whether it be an airport, a bus station, just out in the public. Having a suitcase would give them so much more pride rather than feeling sad about just carrying things in a black trash bag. So I think it can really impact everybody that is helping not only to raise money, but to get those suitcases to help a young person feel better about themselves. I think the blessings are twofold.
All right, Jonah, tell us about what you've been doing for your birthday for the past 2 years.
Well, for the past 2 years, I have been going to Chili Yogurt here in Enterprise, and instead of me receiving gifts, I would be asking them to bring me suitcases for our local DHR here in Enterprise.
And so when we would get those suitcases from Jonah's friends that would come to the birthday party, we would then donate those suitcases to DHR. And if there was a child in need during transition, they would get a suitcase to help load up their clothing and everything, and be able to take that with them, hopefully, instead of a trash bag.
Okay, final question. How do you think this will impact the children giving and receiving the suitcases?
Well, our hope is that they would just be delighted, and that suitcase would help them feel great, and it would replace that trash bag. It seems like such a simple thing that we don't often think about. I think that we all have backpacks and bags and suitcases. So many of us have those, and it doesn't seem like a very mainstream thing that we think about in our lives. But until you see it happening, and until you see a child's face really light up because they have something that is bright and colorful and sturdy to put their belongings in, that their clothes can be folded in, to have a stuffed animal, maybe even a blanket, that they can call their own, that they can roll or carry or put on their back. Like I said, I think the blessing is twofold, because you're providing something very personal to that child, and they get to walk away with something very permanent. A trash bag is temporary, and the first word is trash. Well, their personal belongings are not trash. And so that's the message that we're trying to get across. And so we just believe with all of our hearts it's very important.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to the rest of the school?
Well, we just love this campaign that you all are doing, and we just pray and hope that it's something that you will really take to heart and take seriously, and a lot of young lives can be changed by doing this, and we just think it's wonderful, and we just thank you so much for doing it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all.
This was an interview with Cynthia Baker and Jonah Baker. Thank you.
Now we will have a time of silent reflection.
Thank you, and have a great weekend.